The temperature is at 32 degrees. Ooh, we are in potential power of a gaming PC right in your pocket. Welcome back to my pocket PC, guys. My name is George, and in today's video we're going to be checking out a brand new Windows emulator that has been glorifying the scene and making a bit of heads turn in terms of performance and UI and how you set it up. So without further ado, we're going to be looking at an app called WinNative. So on the GitHub page, we're at actually version 0.1.0 beta, and as you guys can see, this is actually the latest beta that they have available right now to you. So just to give you guys a quick run through of what they're saying, we are proud to announce the first public release of WinNative. WinNative is a modern open source Winulator fork for, well, built for the experience we wanted ourselves. It started as something we wanted to use, and now we are excited to share with the community. Notable features: modern Jetpack Compose UI replacing Winulator's legacy XML interface. That's good. Built for a long play session with control and audio designed to remain stable during 8+ hours. Wow. 8+ hours gaming on your Android device playing PC games. Wow, okay, seems like we're getting there. So basic Steam, Epic Games, and GOG integration for personal game library support. Google Play support for secure login token saving and restoration, built-in component and driver fetcher with GitHub integration. Well, this is good because technically Winulator doesn't really offer that. You know, the forks might, but not directly Winulator, I guess, or maybe they change your stuff. It's been a while since I used it, but this is actually a good thing where it fetches the latest set of drivers and component that it needs from the GitHub. And noticeable performance improvement compared to GameHub and similar apps. That is some bold claims right here, being better than GameHub and the similar apps. Better UI, Jetpack UI, as they said. So I'm looking forward to that. You have your basic Steam and GOG integration. Easy to follow setup wizard, which is also nice, and it has Google support, and also the built-in driver fetchers and component updaters. You know, those are always automatic. So let's see, we have 3 different versions. So we have the standard, we have the PUBG, and we have the Ludashi. No, the reason why you have Ludashi and PUBG and standard, the standard is just the regular APK. The PUBG version, when you install it, it's like WinNative, or like the Android system reads it to be the app PUBG or the game PUBG. And when it Ludashi, a benchmarking app. I think Ludashi is a benchmarking app. So depending on your flavor of Android or your device that you're using, the system itself might push more power to the app if it realizes it's PUBG, or if it realizes that it is Ludashi benchmarking app going on. So that's why they have the 3 different versions right here. But I have already downloaded the standard version and install it, and I haven't set it up as yet, so we're going to go through that process together, I guess. Alright, back to the home screen, and here is WinNative. This is how the app icon looks. It looks pretty cool. I like it with the two half W's or VR, whatever. It just looks cool. Alright, so let's open it up. And going into landscape for a minute there. And as you guys can see, like, we are on the setup screen right now. Let me zoom in for a bit more so you guys can see it better. Okay, so these are like permissions that we need to grant, obviously, before we can move on to next. But from what I see right here, first impressions, it's looking really nice. I like it. So let's grant allow file access. So we'll allow that and go back. allow notifications. We'll allow that and go back. Install the system files. So right now it's downloading all the system files and getting them going. So be mindful of that. The files might be large, the files might be small, so just to be sure, maybe use your Wi-Fi, or if you have unlimited data, I guess it should be fine also. So I'm using Wi-Fi and it's almost finished already, and we can hit next. All right, so as it said on the GitHub page, it will walk you through the setup. So I guess they're trying to make it as simple as possible. So right here they have a recommended section that is really cool. So based on your device and what they think it would need, they give you a set of recommended settings that you can actually use. And I guess you can also click down here and install the ones that you think would work better for you. And I like how they have the GitHub repos where you can tap, whoa, and it loads all the releases that are there for this thing. Okay, that's a cool feature. And yeah, nice quality of life stuff when it comes to Windows emulation on Android. Because as you can see, like, I'm just going through down all of these components that the thing needs, and it lets you literally choose which one you want and still shows you the recommended one for your device also. So yeah, I mean, it's as simple can get, no brainer. So we'll go back to the recommended and just install all recommended. And you can see right down here, we get a little pop-up thing right here showing you all of the download progress, what's being downloaded and what's left. All right, so far so good. The UI is nice, I really like that. But can it play games? We'll see. We have a couple of games set up or already on device, so we can test. So it should be fine when this thing finishes. I see this is at 10:10. Okay, it's done now. All right, so as you can see right here, everything is installed. Drivers, I don't know why that one is white out. Maybe it's something we can. All right, let's check out WinNative turnip drivers. I just click the latest one. All right, let's go with this one. Maybe it works. It's a turnip driver. All right, so next, and I guess we can create in one of these containers right here. This is like the setup with your wizard to still create the containers, or we can just click on finish. Maybe we try with the Proton 10 first. Well, I guess once you click one, they both get created. Oh no, actually this one gets created, and this one, I guess they're still working out the bugs with that, because that was a bit tricky right there. Let's just create this container also, just in case, because this is ARM64 and this is x86 and 64-bit, so this is running through more like a Proton layer, this is running more through a Wine layer. So we just hit finish here, and okay, I mean, there's not much going on here on this UI right now. I mean, we have the plus button, we have manage store account, settings, search, library, download, Steam, and this upside down pyramid menu. Yeah. All right, so where do we start? Should I log in? Okay, let's just skip the login part for now. Let's just hit settings and see what's here. So we have the stores where we can actually sign into from right here, and I'm seeing also a Google sign-in page also. Okay, so I guess you can connect your Google Drive and sync all of your stuff, so it backs them up, kind of like a Steam thing for your your side-loaded games, I guess, or that's how I'm thinking that it works. I mean, if that's how it works, then this is a really good feature. Then we have stores, as you can see, Steam, Epic, GOG, share, downloads folder. All right, there's a lot of stuff that you can change, like download speed, download servers, where your downloads are stored. Okay, not gonna be messing around much with this right now. And we have the containers. Okay, so I guess you can actually come in here, individual containers. We're here, so we can actually test out one of these containers and see. It should give us a Windows a Windows based kind of UI, you know, with the multiple windows popping up. Okay, here we go. We're in it. Okay. Yeah, just trying to move your ass. Again, like every time I use these Windows emulators and have my S Pen out, it's like it's so night and day with the difference, man. Like these Windows emulators were meant to be used with the S Pen, because the S Pen literally acts as like a mouse, you know, so you don't have to be using your big ass sweaty fingers touching all over the screen. But yeah, it's really nice. Let us see if we can go into downloads here. Okay, I guess I have a little problem with double clicking. But I mean, still, like, as you guys can see, like the pointers on the screen as I hover over everything. So yeah, it's definitely nice. I mean, everything is here that you would normally find in a regular setup like this. Yeah, so nothing new here. Oh wow, this is a new. Okay, I like this pop-out side menu that you have. Well, I mean, as I said, like the UI is very impressive. Game Hub comes nowhere close to this, I would say, for the pop-out side menu when you're in game or in the emulator or whatever. Yeah, and you have some basic stuff here, because I would say this would be native rendering, like it's using the GPU to natively render everything. You have zoom, you have task manager, you have a keyboard, you have your mouse, you have your picture-in-picture mode, you have your controls where you can set up everything else. You have different profiles, so virtual gamepad, PlayStation, Xbox controller. Let's see what each of these looks like. Maybe I did it wrong. But okay, I guess FPS, you got all that. Oh, I didn't show on-screen controls. My bad, guys. I didn't want to give this thing a bad rep. Yeah, so here they are. Yeah, with the white background of the thing, you probably can't see it, but yeah, here we go. These are the on-screen controls. That's the regular ones. Let's check out how maybe how the PlayStation ones look. They just change the colors on the buttons. Or the shapes in the buttons, icons, whatever. Let's see if they do the same with the Xbox. Yeah, YXBA. Yeah, just the colors and the stuff in the buttons. But okay, let's just hide this back for now. Yeah, so you also have a settings option where you can obviously tweak whatever you want about these controls. Remove buttons, add buttons, move them wherever on the screen that's more comfortable for you if you're using on-screen control buttons. And you can actually download profiles. Wow, this is awesome, bro. Like the only other Windows emulator app that I've seen this in is Game Hub 6.0, you know. So seeing this here on an open source emulator that looks this good already, you know, and it's still in beta, and you have all of these controller profiles you can download, like this is really nice. We are getting there, guys. I have to give props to WinNative just off what I'm seeing right now. yeah. And also, while in emulation, you can change the HUD if you want to see that. Guess it's popping up here, and you can also move it if you want to. Let's see what else is here. You have the gyro where you can use motion controls to control whatever, and then you have the effects. This is like the special effects that are used when you're, you know, emulating game. Color effects like HDR, natural, CRT effect. Let me give you the CRT effect. I don't know if you can see like the lines on the screen, you know, they're there though. But yeah, that was just a CRT effect. That would be like the most obvious one to be using, but we can disable that, and I don't know if you can see the difference. Yeah, so far so good in this container. Looks really nice, and I really like the side menu, the pop-out menu. But then again, maybe it's because it's new and I'm fanboying over it, but I like it. I like how it's set up. It's really thought out so far. So let's just exit this, closing container, continuing our little browsing of this app so far. So settings, containers, presets. So I guess these are presets for your games that you can use, or where you set up everything else so they work correctly. As you can see, yeah, this is definitely where you fine tune things, you know. If you're knowledgeable about most of these terms, or you know, stuff or what they do, you would have a fun time doing tweaking stuff from in here, because compared to even Game Hub, again, like, this is way more structured and easier to actually navigate than what the others offer, you know. So then again, I still have to give props to WinNative for doing all of this, and they're in beta stage. So imagine when they're actually in a more releasable, you know. And then we have the components where you can auto create container, install more stuff, and yeah, download different wine versions. Also I think, okay, there's no Proton version in here, so I guess just different wine oh no, you actually have them up here at the top, which one you can get actually. And also you can also delete the ones that you have and are probably not using, because here Proton 10 was installed at the very beginning, and it, as you can see, it's 1.4 gigabytes. So maybe it's a case where you download a newer version of Proton, you know, like maybe Proton 11, because Proton 11 is the newest one, and it's working for you, and you don't use Proton 10 anymore and it's taking up space. You can just come right here and delete that just like that, okay? And every other little component that we need is right up here, so you can download, delete, restructure, or whatever you need to do in here, you know, it's all here. And as I said, the UI looks nice, easy to navigate. Everything looks very much understandable from the get-go once you know, are familiar with the whole Windows emulation scene. Then we have the driver section. Again, this is like a driver manager section where you install driver, add repos. If maybe some new developer comes out and is developing his own like drivers for WinNative or WinLater or Game Hub, and they just happen to be better than the other native stuff from the original repos, then you can just add the repo right here, or just download the drivers and install them from right here. You don't need to, but yeah, it's cool that they gave users this option. I'm sorry about that. It's cool that they gave users this option. And as you can see, you can actually edit the controllers right here. If maybe I had like a physical controller, maybe it would allow me to change things, I guess. But this thing is more having to do with the on-screen controls right now, because you can see you can import profile, download profile, export profile, and I have no profile selected. You can set the opacity of the controls. You can even add gyro to the controls if you want to. And now we have other Okay, this is nice. You have an auto update feature. Let's just turn that on from default. You can change your language. You have the sound effects. You have the path where WinNative stores its stuff. You have the shortcut export path where you would export your shortcuts to your Windows games to be used on your front ends on your Android device. It's a lot, I know, but it's cool. Cursor speed, use dry 3 extension. Yeah, we always leave that on. True mouse control. It's okay, nobody's really playing with that shit. I mean, if you want it, you can turn it on. Disable X input. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, you're gonna leave that off. And we have another section called tools with the debug, and that's basically about it. If you're into debugging and want to know about stuff that crashes, or want to help the developers in sending stuff or letting them know what your specific issue is, well, here is a place to do it. I would say for the beta, this is a really polished looking app so far. So I guess the only thing that's really holding it back is because, you know, we're not having anything populating this main menu area so far. Looking down at the upside down pyramid menu, I guess, we have the layout, we have the stores, we have the content types, or you can even add applications on here. I actually installed Photoshop, like desktop grade Photoshop, on my Android device. I'm going to bring you guys a video on that soon, showing you the performance and usability use case of it. Trust me, it's really worth it, and I'm glad that you can actually add applications in this thing. So that's another thing that, yeah. All right, maybe I should test out the Photoshop app in this too. Okay, yeah, I'm really liking this app so far. I don't really want to sign in, really, but maybe I would probably have to. Yeah, to sign in, I'll probably have to stop recording, sign in, and start recording again. All right, but let's just find an executable file where we can add and see how everything would look. You just browse wherever you have your stuff stored on your device, and then you just find the exe file. Here we go, God of War exe. Just click on that, and okay, I think I double clicked on something. Yeah, I think I double clicked on something, like I clicked off the option to actually say that yes. Okay, click God of War, click OK. Yes, like when I was doing it first, I double clicked on the outside, so this just disappeared. So it's not a glitch with the app itself, it was my fault. All right, so yeah, it's another thing that I don't like. All right, let's just click add, and as you can see, like, it comes up with the exe's icon instead of downloading something or scraping something, I guess, because I was wondering maybe I should rename it so it knows that it's God of War stuff that it should be scraping. But yeah, you can't really tell how everything would look right now. It's just one icon in the corner, but what we could do, we could just add another exe game just to populate it a bit. Let's add let's add Sekiro exe. Okay, and add. All right, so I think this is like the grid view, I think, maybe, yeah, 4 grid. So let's see how the carousel looks. Oh wow. Okay, this is nice, or it's okay. And the list view, all right, let's just stick to the carousel. The carousel is better. And I think maybe I should just tap the game. Alright, I tapped into it. This is what comes up. So here we have play, settings, home, save, cloud save, delete, and you actually have the size of the game right here. 22.32 gigabytes. Maybe it's like calculating the folder that the exe is confined to, and calculating the space, and comes up with this, because this is actually God of War Lite. You actually have a light version of God of War 4 that's 22 gigs, and it runs on Android pretty good. But I'm wondering if this actually runs it pretty good. And here we have custom. I guess we have to be clicking around things right now to find out what they do. So let's just try clicking custom. Nothing happens. If we click settings, this is where we personalize God of War. Alright, so I always change my resolution to a lower resolution. Yeah, 960 by 544, 16 by 9 aspect ratio. We always choose that. I don't think we need to change anything more here. Frame limiter, yeah, let's keep that at non-graphics. Wrapper, alright, that's the same as any WinNative thing. That stays. We have that as turnip driver. Let's go on VK. Yeah, alright, Proton. Let's use 2-2. That's the latest one. This is the latest one. Draw wrapper none. Okay, that's okay. Let's check on advance. Wine box 64, box 64, box 64. 0 point. I think this is the latest one. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's leave it on performance. Load essentials, execution arguments, none. Okay, let's leave this as default. Input controls, profile, let's do virtual gamepad. Don't need to change anything else here, I think. Variables, that's okay for now. Wine, okay, all of this is okay for now. So let's hit, hold on, should we hit play it? So I guess if we hit home, it takes us, oh, it adds it to the home screen. We can add it to the home screen just for kicks. And then we have save. Oh, you can export and import save files. Okay, that's nice. And we have, oh shit, what? All right, we have the backup cloud syncing stuff. I'm not sure if this works with Steam, or maybe it has something to do with your Google login and it links to your Google Drive and it just backs up all your save data from there. But this is really nice. No other Windows game emulator has been able to do this for you with side-loaded games, you know. With Steam and with Epic and stuff like that, you know, everything is constantly being synced to the cloud. But with this now, side-loaded games can be backed up. Oh, this is a game changer, people. This is a game changer. All right. Okay, not much here. All right, so all of that obviously is a trash can, so we delete. Size, nothing happens, nothing else happens here. All right, let's just hit play and see what's going on. Okay, moment of truth, guys. No, this video is stretching like a very long time right now. Half an hour long. But you know, we're testing out this brand new Windows emulator together, see what's going on. I like the kind of heart rate thingy that's going on down here. And the temperature is at 32 degrees. Ooh, we are in. Okay, I can use my little S Pen as my mouse to click things. And wow, I mean, I don't think, I'm not exactly sure if frame generation is in here, or if we, well, there is the bypass thingy that renders everything natively like on the GPU without have to going through all of those translation layers. So that could be a thing where this is performing how it's performing right now. I mean, we're getting 19, 20 frames per second, but you know, who cares? This is like God of War 4, and we haven't really tweaked anything much, you know. There is some things we can do. Maybe if we select native rendering disable. Oh, it doesn't really apply right now until we launch it the next time. Okay. All right, let's just leave that on until we come out. That's control, that's a gyro. Just no effects. I mean, using effects is gonna put more more strain on your GPU, especially in a game like this. So, I mean, first impressions, as I said, the whole UI looks really good, and what they're offering also, it looks really nice. FPS monitor, dual frame limiter off. Okay, as I said, there's not much to offer here like frame generation, but it does offer like the native rendering. So it uses less power, so it's more efficient, you know, because as you can see, like it's hovering around 3 to 4 watts, you know, or 3 to 5 watts, and the temperature is definitely at 36 degrees. And although we're not getting the best frames in the world, but still, you know, and looks like we are frozen. I mean, not exactly frozen, but you know, I mean, this is expected when it comes to like launching a new game on first launch with a new game, because it has to build up the cache and all of these things. So you would expect a bit of glitching, but on the second launch, fresh new launch, everything is supposed to be a bit more stable. So let's see. And this is actually using OpenGL Plus. Yeah. Okay, Zinc DX. Oh, okay, so I guess it's like cycling through which one would be or give the best results, I guess. Yeah. I mean, God of War is a pretty demanding game, you know, and you can always go to a lower quality game and you probably will get better performance, you know. But as I said, like Game Native does not offer frame generation, you know, does not offer frame generation. But from a game like this, and we're just getting 18 to 20 frames per second, I mean, it's playable. Mobile game standards, you don't need to be playing games at 60 frames to be enjoying it. I don't know where you guys get that kind of thing from, but yeah, just judging from this, it is very much playable. It is very much playable. Yeah, or maybe the frame counter is wrong or something. I kind of doubt that, but from what I'm seeing here, it's moving really smooth. Kratos. Okay. You can see the frame counter, like it says 16, 17, but this does not feel like 16, 17 frames per second. It actually feels a whole lot smoother than that. Let's go ahead and show our controls right here. I guess we're still in the cutscene phase. Let's give us a little bit volume on there. The volume is working, and it's working pretty smoothly, as you guys can hear. Yeah, we're just waiting for the game to start. I guess we have menus we can still go into whenever we need to. Yeah, this is taking its time. But CPU is at 9, well, GPU is at 90%, CPU is hovering around 50-60%, RAM is 86%. We're using 5 to 6 watts, and the temperature is still at 38 degrees. So that is impressive, keeping the temperatures this low. I mean, the frame counter is getting very low, but at the same time, the game does not feel slow, you know. This thing is very much playable. This thing is very much playable. And as I said, like, this is the first beta, and it's running pretty smoothly. And on top of that, you have application support. I really want to be testing out some of these Windows applications and seeing how it works, because as I said, I didn't get Photoshop to be working, so I wonder if that's going to be working in here also. The setup process is really straightforward. The UI looks nice. Everything seems to be working smoothly. Yeah, perfect. Okay guys, I couldn't get Sekiro to go in games and to go in game, but we still have some tweaking and stuff to look at. And as I said, this is beta, so you know, crashes will happen, things won't work. But so far, from what I've seen or what I've experienced with this emulator, it works fine. It looks really good, and I'm looking forward to see what else they come up with in the future, or the improvements that they're going to make with this emulator in the future, because it's looking really good and the performance is almost there, you know, given maybe a couple more months or maybe even a couple of weeks, because the emulation scene is moving so fast in terms of development, you know. So there's a lot of changes that can be made. So yeah, I am very much, oh, I just even saw our little God of War icon that's right up here that we set as a shortcut, you know. So let me see if we can move that. So here that is. So if I actually click on it here, it would just launch directly into the game, just like a native Android app. So some quality of life stuff that you should keep in mind. It's here. Yeah. So that is WinNative for Android, another newer WinNative fork. It looks really good and it looks very promising, and I'm looking forward for us to test it out and see what's going on together. So I am George from my Pocket PC. Keep your phones charged and your storage not low or high. Yeah, just keep storage space on your phone and stay safe. Until next time, give me a subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.